Hey, what's going on? It's Matt, and let's talk about acquisition costs for restaurants with regards to digital marketing. So what am I talking about when I say acquisition costs? I'm talking about two specific elements. Number one, getting those people to take action digitally and become a member of your online program. We use messenger marketing through ManyChat. You might use email. You might use text. You might have an app. And the other element of that is getting them to walk in the door, sit their butt in the seat and spend money, or maybe go through a drive-through, what kind of business you are. So today I'm having a conversation with Tom, a buddy of mine in the digital marketing space, and we're talking about why I choose to work with different restaurants over others, but also how I set expectations for my restaurant clients, because there's a major difference on what it's going to cost you as a restaurant or a restaurant marketer to acquire somebody into your restaurant program and into your restaurant to spend money based on three elements that I have found over tens of thousands of ad campaigns. Now, let me knock those three down. Number one, it's the type of food. Number two, it is the type of service. And number three, it is the geographic location. So I'm going to make me smaller, and I'm going to dive into this real quick. Okay, so the three factors I have seen that are going to affect your marketing campaign are, like I mentioned, type of food, type of service, and location. What I mean by this, these green outer circles, the pink, the yellow, the black, the green and the pink on the outside are going to be the better for you. And when I say better, I mean cost and ease of acquisition, because they're more wide appealing. The narrower you get, the harder. So I want you to think about it this way. So if I look at here and I say that my green equals, let me make this bigger. Again, I'm just doing this kind of off the cuff like I do most of the things in my life. Here we go. So I got green. So green in this instance for me is going to be a food that people eat a lot. So like one thing, burgers, and we'll say chicken. And what I mean by that is a brand like a Burger King, a McDonald's, or chicken tenders. When you go to the pink, you get into maybe Mexican. So you got Taco Bell, things of that nature. Then you get down here into the yellow and black. You're thinking of things that are a little more specific. So yellow, let's just go to black because that's a lot easier for me, would be Thai food. Yellow, maybe you go Chinese, you go Oriental. I spelled that right. And what I mean by this is that I guess pizza would be here too. Let's go pizza. What I mean by these qualifications is that they appeal to a wider audience. My wife, for example, has never had Thai. She's never having Thai. She won't walk into a Thai restaurant with me. I eat Thai. I enjoy it. I don't eat it enough or that many times a month, but I eat it. Oriental, we both kind of like it. Not a ton. Pizza and Mexican, we like it, but it typically is saved for like one time a week, unless we get into type of service. And then over here, burgers and chicken, things that people eat all the time. And so what I have found happens, and I'll show you this in a second, is the narrower you get, you're eliminating audience. So for example, imagine you've got a burger restaurant versus a Thai restaurant. Let's say your audience on the outside is 10,000. Well, that Thai restaurant, the audience might only be 1,000. So if you have the same $100 to spend and you're going to that Thai versus burger, you're going to spend 3 to 5 times more to acquire that customer than you would the other level. Now let's go here and let's look at the type of service. And so you go up here and it's pretty simple. Fast food's the easiest because people eat fast food more often. Pink down here would be fast casual. Think Chipotle, hothead burritos, rapid-fired pizza, places that you don't get waited on. They're not super long, but they're not as fast as fast food. And then yellow, you're going to think casual. So think Quaker Steak and Lube, Applebee's, Butterbee's, places that you're going to sit down at and have meals. And then here I'm going to say fine dining, but it's basically anything that's above casual that's more expensive. So then we go into the last one. I apologize, my things aren't completely centered here. We go to location. And here you're going to say great suburb. And here you're going to say maybe a busy suburb. And I'll give you an example here in a second of these. Here you're going to say maybe a work area. And then down here we're going to go with urban. And I'm going to lay this out and tell you real quick, once we get this done, how this applies to all of this. So over here, for example, I skipped this, was people eat fast food more often. People eat fast food every couple of days, sometimes every day. Fast casual people eat it. I honestly say thanks to Chipotle, probably. People have become more accustomed to fast casual and brands like Chipotle and Hothead, because you can go in, get something that's not fast food, that's a little better, but you're sitting down and eating it in the restaurant versus a drive-thru. Casual dining, the Quaker Steak and the Lubes, the Butter Bees of the world, the TGI Fridays, you're going to go in there, sit down, but you're doing it less frequently. You might go every other week because it's going to cost you $50 or $60. And then fine dining, you might go to once a month, once or every 2 months. A lot of the population never go to fine dining. So when you think about that on the scope, you're eliminating possible audience. So out here on fast food, you might have, let's say, 10,000 people was your audience for this campaign. But as you narrow that and you get down to the yellow with casual dining, that now might be only 2,500 people. And so it's going to cost you more. And then when you look at location, same thing. I live in Union, Kentucky, great suburb, Florence area. That is a great opportunity because people live and work all around it. What might be a bad suburb is somewhere like Fields Erdel in Cincinnati, Ohio. There is a road up there off the Fields Erdel exit. That's a nightmare. That if I lived up there, I would not go there. But I'm going to go there more often than I go to the next two. Yellow, work area. These are places that are kind of the suburbs, but have a lot of traffic for work. And so people might not be living there, but they go there frequently for work, so you're going to get that business. Last but not least is urban, where I'm at in downtown Cincinnati. The vast majority of people that live in Union, where I live in Kentucky, 15 minutes south, do not step foot in this neighborhood. So it's going to cost more money to get somebody. So there might be, again, 10,000 people that we just launched Sugar Fire Barbecue in Cincinnati, Ohio, or in Northern Kentucky, working with them. I'm going to be able to get more people there than I'd be able to get if it was down here in downtown Cincinnati, because it's near where people are at. So the way to look at how this affects your marketing, let's just say you've got a $500 budget. Make this bigger. And you can do all sorts of equations to this. Let's say you've got a $500 budget. And let's say you've got a fast food restaurant that is in a great location. So we work with a chicken tender business that's in an awesome location that is in it's a fast food that's a very commonly eaten food. We're getting 50-cent opt-ins. So if I've got $500, that means I'm going to get 1,000 opt-ins. And because it's a more wide appealing product in a more wide appealing neighborhood in a fast food environment, we're getting high redemption rates. So we're getting 40% redemption rates. So that means that when I get 1,000 opt-ins for $500 at 40%, that means on a monthly basis, I'm going to have 400 people walk through the door at my restaurant. So it means it cost me less than, 400 divided by 5. Get my math going here. $500 divided by 400 customers. That means it just cost me $1.25 to acquire that customer. Okay, so that is equals, and then 400 divided by 500, $1.25. Is that right? Yeah, okay, something like that. You get the point. Now, if I take that equation and go to, let's say it's the same type of fast food restaurant, but it's in an urban area. And now all of a sudden people aren't coming here as much. There's not as big of an audience. Now I'm getting, let's say, dollar opt-ins. So now I'm at 500 opt-ins. And I'm probably only getting 20% redemption because people are getting in the program that might not be apt to come here. Let's just say 30%. And so you can see now that 500 at 30% is 150 customers. Divided by $500, 500 divided by 150. So now I'm at $3.33. So you can see, it's not that this is bad. It's just as a marketer, as a restaurateur, you need to understand the factors that are going to affect your acquisition costs and your butts in the seat costs. Because I can acquire somebody for 50 cents here all day, but you know what? 60% aren't walking in. I'm only care about the 40%. So it actually cost me $1.25. Whereas down here, that same concept in a different neighborhood. Now this gets even more drastic. If let's say you're a marketer and you're contemplating the type of businesses to work with, and you take a concept and say, okay, I'm going to work with a casual dining restaurant that is a high level food burger and that is in an urban area, same thing. So I might be at $1 opt-ins. So I'm going to get 500 opt-ins at $1. And I'm going to get 20% redemption. And this actually happened to me. We had a hot dog place in Denver that's awesome, that it actually cost us more money. It was not more money, but we had a 2% acquisition. So what I mean by that is only 2% of the database were actually coming into the restaurant. And so when we were getting all of these people that were joining the program, but only 2% were coming in, it was not working. So that was a major problem. So if you look at this and say, I've got 500 people coming in, I got $1 in acquisition, 20% walk in the restaurant, that means I have 100 visits. Now take a casual dining, let's go a little opposite. Let's take a casual dining restaurant in Covington, Kentucky, and it's not as popular of an area. And it's maybe it's an Oriental versus a burger place. So now all of a sudden I'm like, okay, it's going to cost me $3 to get an opt-in. And so if I'm at 500 divided by 3, I'm at 166 people at $3. And because of where it's located, people are going to be less inclined to redeem, because what happens a lot of times, I'll give you this example, the hot dog place. They were a really cool, trendy product. They had been on the Food Network. People had seen them around the suburbs. I'm going to that place. They opted in, but they never made it there because it was a 45-minute drive. That could happen with a place like Covington. So now I've got 166 opt-ins instead of 500, and I'm at $3 acquisition cost. And let's say I'm only at 10% redemption. So now I just got, 16 visits? Is that right? Yeah, 16 visits. So now I'm at 16 visits. And so if you're a marketer trying to explain this to a client of yours 3 months later why the program's not working, there's why. But if you go in knowing this, that, hey, Mr. Customer, we can help you, but because of your location or your type of service or your type of food, we're going to face these hurdles. You just have to understand you're going to get worse results the narrower you get. Let's say you have a Thai restaurant that is high end, that is in downtown Cincinnati. You better be prepared for the worst or the highest. Whereas if you have a fast food burger joint that is in the Florence, Kentucky, you're going to be able to crush it. So there you go. That's all I got. Acquisition costs. You need to understand these factors and what's going to help and what's going to hurt you. If you understand them going in, you at least have expectations that you can live up to, versus saying, hey, Matt got 1,000 opt-ins at $500 for his fast casual pizza place in Florence. I ought to get that for my Thai place in downtown. Not happening. Know what the opportunity is. That's all I got. See you later.